Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Wisconsin.
It is a beautiful night for baseball in St. Louis, Missouri. Tuesday night on Fox Sports Wisconsin. It's the Brew Crew and the St. Louis Cardinals. Second game of this three-game series. Nice little run for the Brewers here recently. Sunday, Martin Maldonado with that walk-off homer in the 17th inning. Second longest game of the season in the big leagues, and a slide for good measure. And then last night, what a ball game the Brewers had. Got great pitching. It was a first inning RBI by Carlos Gomez that turned out to be all they would need. They won last night by a final of 1-0. K-Rod was the fifth pitcher used, and he closed the door on the Redbirds. It wasn't pretty at times. Rogers crawled his way to the bag to secure the victory, and the Brewers shaking hands and all smiles here in St. Louis last night. And everybody, we welcome you from St. Louis. Alongside Bill Schroeder, I'm Brian Anderson. Sophia Minott is our reporter. We'll hear from her in just a little bit. Well, typically we don't like to look back. We like to look forward. But last night's effort by Mike Fiers is worth another discussion. The Brewers, after that 17-inning game, Rock, were in all kinds of trouble with their pitching. Fiers stepped up in a big way.
There's nothing wrong with looking back when you win, particularly 1-0 against the Cardinals. But the Brewers needed a good start out of Mike Fiers, and certainly they got it. Fiers continues to pitch well against the Cardinals in 7 starts, 3-2, and a 148 earned run average. Something about the Cardinals that brings out the best in him, able to manage his pitch count, had a very good fastball and the slider cutter pitch, and he did an outstanding job. Got through 6 innings, and the one thing the Brewers were confident with, the winning scenario in the bullpen. Jonathan Broxton, the scoreless 7th inning once again last night, got a double play ball to get himself out of a jam. And very interestingly, Craig Counsell brought in Kotz to start the 8th inning with 2 left-handers up. Jeremy Jeffers got out of a mess in the 8th, and then K-Rod, another white-knuckle 9th inning, but he nailed down save number 9.
Well, so after the Brewers used 9 pitchers in the 17-inning game on Sunday, used 5 last night. Last 2 games, the Brewers bullpen has been fantastic, and that includes Matt Garza, who went 5 shutout out of the bullpen on Sunday afternoon. So all of that sets the stage for tonight, because the one guy that they didn't have to use was Tyler Cravey. He gets the start tonight. He'll be making his Major League debut. Sophia has more on Tyler Cravey when we continue.
Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. And by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. There are tonight's starters. Lance Lynn for the Cardinals, a 3-4 record for him. He's looking for his 30th career win here at Busch Stadium tonight, and he will go up against the newest Brewers starter, Tyler Cravey, who is here for his Major League debut. And now for the second time in 3 days, the Brewers will have a pitcher making his Major League debut on Sunday. It was Tyler Wagner. Tonight, Tyler Cravey gets his shot. He comes up from AAA Colorado Springs, so let's get to know the young Brewers prospect, 25 years old, right-hander from California. He was drafted in the 17th round of the 2009 draft, and you see his minor league career numbers again with AAA Colorado Springs this year, a 5-4 record, but over his last 3 starts, he's been rolling with an ERA of 1.84. And pitching coach Rick Kranitz gave the scouting report on what to expect from Cravey and also getting him through his first start here tonight.
He's a 4-pitch mix guy. You know, the thing that I've heard most is that he gets a lot of swings and misses. So, you know, the key obviously is for him to get ahead and let his stuff work late in the game or wait late in the count, because there is a, you know, his cutter or slider is pretty good, and you know, he's got a lot of good movement out of the strike zone. I told him yesterday that basically, you know, you just do what you do. You know, there's no, you know, attack these guys the way you would attack guys in AAA. There are a few things to be careful of on certain hitters, on what maybe you want to stay away from, that they're really good at. But you know, when you have a 4-pitch mix guy, you can do that. And so, you know, he needs to attack and just be himself. And we said, hey, look, if you want to throw something or you're not comfortable throwing something, you just shake and pitch your ball game.
Tyler Cravey here for his Major League debut, but the Brewers also added another new name to their roster. Elian Herrera no longer with the crew. Who is new to the crew? We'll tell you more about it with the roster move coming up next. Here under the arch in St. Louis, we are getting ready for first pitch here at Busch Stadium, the second game of a 3-game series between the Brewers and the Cardinals. And Tyler Cravey is here for his Major League debut, but that is not the only face in this new face in this Brewers dugout. The Brewers making a roster move today, adding to their stock of young, talented infielders. They claim the 24-year-old Venezuelan Hernan Perez off of waivers from the Detroit Tigers. A very limited playing time for him with the Tigers. He hit just 2 for 33, but did play every infield outfield position for the Tigers. And the Brewers making the corresponding move, designating Elian Herrera for assignment. You see his numbers there throughout the season, a .212 average and 4 home runs. Manager Craig Counsell weighing in on the roster move and what they're acquiring in adding Perez to the roster.
I think he's 24 years old, and he's been in the big leagues. Got to the big leagues at 21, I believe, or 22, and so he's made it to the minor leagues pretty quickly, and he's performed at the upper levels of the minor leagues. And just take a look at him and give him a shot.
The Brewers were expecting Perez to join them just before game time. He would be available tonight, but the Brewers, they're looking to follow up a walk-off win and a 1-0 win last night. Can they make it 3 straight here against the Cardinals tonight?
It was good to see the Brew Crew putting some smiles on last night after that 1-0 win. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Book your stay now. 72 gorgeous degrees here in St. Louis. Not a cloud in the sky, and we are ready for Brewers Cardinals baseball here tonight. Manager Craig Counsell, at 44 years of age, has seen his club win back-to-back games. They look for 3 in a row here tonight. Counsell at 11-16 since taking over for Ron Renicky. Potawatomi batting order for Counsell tonight. He's got Gomez back in the leadoff spot. Gerardo Parra will bat second, then Ryan Braun in the 3-hole. Middle of the order is Lind, Lucroy, Ramirez, Segura, Sardinas, and Cravey will round it out. And there is Lance Lynn. Rockies making his 11th start of the year. He is 3-4 this season with a 3.41 ERA. He's fallen on some hard times here lately.
Yeah, kind of a rough start for Lance Lynn. Ordinarily a very good first half pitcher. A career 52-32 record, making start number 13 against the Brewers. He's currently 6-3 against Milwaukee. Brewers beat him back at Miller Park at the end of April.
First pitch of the ball game is down and away we go from St. Louis tonight. Great night for baseball. It was a little overcast and cool last night, but we're set up for a couple of beautiful days here in Missouri. Gomez has been hitting cleanup the last couple of nights, but with Adam Lind back in the lineup, Gomez back in the leadoff spot. Carlos had the lone RBI of the night last night. Came in the first inning as he peels out and a swinging strike. As Sophia mentioned, the Brewers made a transaction today. Elian Herrera was designated for assignment. Hernan Perez acquired or claimed off waivers from the Detroit Tigers. And Perez is here. He has arrived at the ballpark. He is wearing uniform number 14. Council said he'd like to have him available tonight to pinch hit. And you never know, you might see him get a start tomorrow. Depends on how he's doing when he gets settled in here. He does have a familiar face in Darnell Coles, who is the Brewers hitting coach, and those two were together with the Tigers last year in Detroit.
And they say he's a pretty good contact hitter. He's still young, still learning the strike zone, and I would imagine Darnell Coles is going to be talking to him, making him feel comfortable here in Milwaukee.
By the way, it is Darnell Coles' birthday today. Happy 53rd birthday if you're keeping track of your hitting coach's birthdays across the major leagues.
Did you have any birthday cake in the clubhouse?
I walked right by it.
Me too.
Proud of myself.
Me too.
2-2 to Gomez. That one misses away. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Lance Lynn throws a lot of fastballs. I mean, near 75, 85% fastballs. He'll cut the fastball from time to time and throw a curveball once in a while, but Brewers going to see a lot of hard stuff tonight.
And Gomez fights one off foul. Lynn's been a big winner, no question. 18 wins in 2012. That was his high water mark. He hit the ground running here with the Cardinals. First pitching out of the bullpen in 2011, the year they went to the World Series. 18, 15, and 15 wins respectively. And he picks up a strikeout. A long battle with Gomez, but a strikeout is the conclusion, and that's how the night begins for Lynn.
Well, there's not a lot of changes defensively day to day. If you take a look at the Menards Cardinals defense, you got one change tonight. Randall Grichuk gets a start out in right field. Jason Hayward sits this one out. It's his 6th start out in right field this year. Talking about Randall Grichuk, and the best in the business behind home plate, Yadier Molina. Always fun to watch.
Joe West is the crew chief. He'll call the balls and strikes. Kerwin Danley, Gabe Morales, and Rob Drake on the bases tonight. Here is Gerardo Parra. Figures to be playing every day in the absence of Chris Davis. Parra got a start last night against the left-handed starter Jaime Garcia.
Brewers really don't have a 4th outfielder right now. That 4th outfielder was Elian Herrera, who is no longer with the ball club. So it'll be interesting to see if they do need a 4th outfielder tonight, who's going to be thrown out there.
We asked Council today, who's your 4th guy, as Parra grounds to short. So who's your 4th outfielder? He goes, whoever raises their hand first. But then he did point out to left field. That was during batting practice, and he goes, look who's taking fly balls off the bat. That would be Hector Gomez, and Hector was in some fast tutelage with Gerardo Parra in left field if the Brewers are in need of an extra outfielder tonight. Injury or ejection, you never know. Double switch.
Yeah, he certainly got the arm to play the outfield. One of the best arms on the team.
He looked pretty comfortable out there. We saw a little bit of him in the outfield this spring, but Hector Gomez could be that guy tonight if need be. Here's Ryan Braun with 2 outs. Braun took the collar last night, 0 for 4. There were a lot of 0-fers in last night's game for both teams. The biggest 0-fer of the night was from the Cardinals with runners in scoring position. They were 0 for 6. They had a lot of traffic on the bases late, and yet the Brewers were able to get to the end with no runs coming across.
And they stranded 10 last night.
Braun reaches out, pokes one over to second base. That is Colton Wong, and that is a 1-2-3 inning for Lance Lynn. Major League debut is coming, the second in 3 days. Tyler Cravey is on the mound next. Tonight at Busch Stadium, a couple of cute kids. They're getting along right now. We'll be keeping tabs on these kids. Iron Man and Superwoman down there.
How about Dad?
Dad's got the Flash t-shirt on. He's rocking it. Take a look at the Potawatomi batting order for the St. Louis Cardinals. Colton Wong, Matt Carpenter, Matt Holliday. Middle of the order, Peralta, Grichuk, and Molina. And then Mark Reynolds, John Jay, and Lance Lynn. You see, Holliday has a National League record 45 games on base streak, 45 games to start a year. And there is Tyler Cravey. His heart must be pounding right now as he's ready to make his major league debut.
Well, you hope he's relaxed. He's going to have to be. You want to get off to a good start in your major league debut. He's had a terrific May down in the minor leagues. 4-1, a .333 earned run average. The month of May, he only gave up 1 home run. That's pretty good in Colorado Springs. A 17th round draft choice of the Brewers back in 2009.
25 years of age, turned 26 later this season. He's been an overachiever throughout his career and has surfaced at the big league level. You root for guys like this. Doesn't have the big overpowering fastball, but he has great command, and he is known as an all-4 pitcher, meaning he has 4 pitches that he can throw for strikes.
Rick Kranitz likes to call it a 4-pitch mixer. Not afraid to throw any of his pitches at any time. And talking to his manager down in the minor leagues, Rick Sweet, he's a guy that's been doing a very good job of keeping the baseball down.
Colton Wong into center field right at Gomez. Ball's got a little more travel on it tonight than what we saw last night. With the warmer temperatures this evening, there's the first out in the big leagues for Tyler Cravey.
He's going to throw a fastball that has some sink on it, slider, the curveball, and the changeup. Not too many changeups, but he will throw the breaking pitch, the curveball, and the slider. Keeping the baseball down, pounding the strike zone as of late. He's won his last 3 starts down in Colorado Springs.
What did his AAA manager Rick Sweet have to say about him? He said he has been one of our best at AAA Colorado Springs, and it does bear repeating. Rock mentioned it. Colorado Springs is probably the toughest place to pitch in the world. It is Coors Field on steroids, we understand, from the hitters that are down there. And for Cravey to win his last 3, winning 4 of his last 5, he's a California native, 17th rounder in '09. He's had to pitch his way through all these levels with with the wolf at the door, meaning a release is always hanging around for a guy in the rounds that he was drafted in. But he has pitched well at every level, and he's earned his shot here in the big leagues.
Yeah, we saw him down in spring training from time to time, a handful of appearances. Had much longer hair back in spring training. You know, less hits than innings pitched in the minor leagues, and allowed only 4 home runs.
Gravy slings one in on Matt Carpenter, and he goes. So Carpenter strikes out. That was a quick thumb by Rob Drake. Didn't check his swing, cut through it on a changeup from Gravy, and his first major league strikeout is to Matt Carpenter.
Yeah, there it is, going down and away. That's a nice pitch. That's a good sign. Yeah, you're making your major league debut against one of the best teams in all of baseball, and you have the presence of mind, and this is where Jonathan Lucroy is going to have to come up big, is calming this guy down and have him pitch his game. So a good changeup to start things here tonight.
Gravy to face Matt Holliday now. Reaches out in front of that one. Lazy pop up, back is Segura, and that's how you get a major league career started. Well done, Tyler Gravy. 3 up, 3 down with a punch out. Welcome to the big leagues. The Cardinals scoreless. They had a run of 7 consecutive games of scoring first inning runs until last night. Fires closed them out, and now Gravy tonight. Adam Lynn's in our T-Mobile game changer. His last 4 games he has 5 hits, including an opposite field home run. 4 runs batted in, had a pinch hit appearance in last night's game. He has not been in the starting lineup the last 2 games. Back in there tonight.
And Lynn with a base hit late last night as a pinch hitter. Actually back in Milwaukee in the game that the Brewers beat Lance Lynn. Lynn hit a 3-run home run. That was in the 2nd inning.
Scoreless as we play in the 2nd. We're just underway. Lynn a little late on that offering from Lynn. And Holliday is there for the first out. Lynn retires Lynn. 1 away in the 2nd inning. That'll bring up Lucroy. Lance Lynn just turned 28 a few weeks ago, back in mid-May. Gets very little run support this year, even though his earned run average is 3.41. That's a good ERA. He's just 3-4 this season. 2.8 runs per game the Cardinals score for Lance Lynn. That's a go-figure situation. Lucroy trying to get his bat going. He just returned to the lineup yesterday. Struggled at the plate prior to his injury on April 20th. A fractured left big toe.
still looking to get things going. And over in yesterday's game, and got to get him swinging the bat again.
He's wearing that protective brace to cover that toe. He's pretty psychological about things too. You ask him, how you're going to wear a brace, you're going to have the rubber-soled shoes. He goes, yeah, but it's not going to happen again.
You see,
it won't happen again.
He's got the hard toes on both feet to protect both, and that's the way you have to think about it. It's not going to happen again.
Ground ball to second base. Colton Long will make the play for out number 2. 5 in a row retired by Lynn. And Lucroy rolling out at his first try. Now to bring up Aramis Ramirez. Ramirez was 0 for 3 last night, taken out of the game for defensive purposes on a double switch. Turns out to be the final game for Elian Herrera during this stretch. He could still, if he doesn't get claimed, could accept the assignment and go to the Brewers minor leagues. That's still an option for Elian. Yesterday during batting practice, Aramis Ramirez was drilled by a Carlos Gomez line drive. He was taking ground balls at third base. And Gomez hit one right at him, hit him in the calf. I didn't think it bothered him too much because he was kind of smiling, kind of laughing. But I asked him today, I said, did that hurt yesterday? He goes, it's killing me. And it's killing me today. There's a new guy. Hernan Perez is in the dugout in the big leagues and introducing himself to his new teammates. That's got to be an interesting experience.
Right. Middle of the game. Big kid, 6'1", 185 pounds, out of Venezuela.
Welcome. You're pitching tonight, right? Good job. How'd it go so far? Oh, well, I got 3 up, 3 down. And it's my first day, too, you know.
Yeah, what's your name?
What if he knows he's actually the pitcher tonight?
I did.
Because normally you don't talk to the pitcher, right? The starting pitcher?
Leave him alone. He was probably just told.
24 years of age. He's been under the tutelage of Omar Vizquel in Detroit. That's a good wing to be under. Ramirez skies this one back in the grass. And that's going to be Jay to call it and catch it. 6 up, 6 down. Tyler Cravey back on the mound.
Is presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. A scoreless game here in the second inning, and Hernan Perez has minutes ago just joined the Brewers in the dugout. The Brewers making the move today, claiming him off of waivers from the Detroit Tigers, and the corresponding move designating Elian Herrera for assignment. So Perez is a 24-year-old Venezuelan utility infielder. Manager Craig Counsell saying, he came up in the big leagues 21, 22, so that tells you he came through the minor leagues very quickly. He's performed at the upper level of the minors, and he had limited playing time with the Tigers. 2 for 33 for them at the plate, but did play at every infield position. He came up as a shortstop, but primarily played second and third for the Tigers. So Craig Counsell says he'll be available. We'll take a look at what we can do for him. And as you guys mentioned earlier in the show, Hector Gomez would now be their 4th outfielder. But very excited to get Perez adding to their stock of young, talented infielders here.
All right, Sophia, thanks. Good to have him here. Tyler Cravey back on the mound, starting his 2nd inning of work. Peralta just missed the bag at 3rd and a foul ball.
Yeah, last 3 years in the minor leagues for Perez, at 300 or very near 300, so good contact hitter, doesn't strike out a whole lot, but doesn't walk much, still learning how to hit at the major league level.
And it became a numbers game for him. He was called up to the big leagues in 2012, and Rock, you'll have to explain this a little better, but basically he was brought up early because the Tigers had problems with their shortstop, who's the man at the plate currently, and Johnny Peralta in that PED suspension, and probably brought to the big leagues a little sooner than the Tigers had hoped. They were still hoping to develop him, but once you bring a guy up, that starts his clock.
Yep.
And you only have 3 years where you can send him up and down before you're out of options.
And that's what happened to him here. They sent him down. He was out of options. The Brewers were the team that had the first crack at him because the Brewers with the worst record right now in baseball, so they picked him up. And sometimes, when you bring a kid up like that so quickly, especially on a team that's looking to go to the postseason, the pressures of all that, and at a very young age, sometimes it can be overwhelming. That's why I know the Brewers are very careful about when they bring their young players up. You'd rather have a guy down in the minor leagues maybe 6 months too long than maybe a couple of days or a couple of months too soon. Want to make sure they're comfortable up here in the big league level. It's such a different pressure up here.
And what resulted this year for Perez is that he really wasn't in the plans, but a lot like what happened last year with the Wei Chung Wong situation, had to remain in the big leagues. They knew if they tried to send him back to the minor leagues, somebody would probably claim him. The Brewers had first crack at him because they do have the worst record at this point. It goes on record worst to best for teams that can claim that player. That's different from when there are trade waivers as you get to the trade deadline, as Cravey strikes out Johnny Peralta. And his 2nd strikeout. He's got 4 in a row here.
Check out the Brewers defensively. One change from last night. You got Adam Lynn getting a start at first base. Last night it was Jason Rogers. 44th start for Adam Lynn. Good to have Lucroy back behind home plate. Parra, Gomez, and Braun. Ramirez, Segura, Sardinius rounds out the Brewers defense. Errorless ball last night.
That was a good look at Cravey, how we saw him last in spring training with the long locks, the Jeff Samardzija hair, Jacob deGrom look. Different look for him. I hardly recognized him yesterday. Randall Grichuk takes ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Grichuk getting the start for Jason Hayward tonight. He's been a good hitter for him. Coming in at a 281 clip. And he rips that one down the left field line. That is fair. Going into the corner. And Grichuk continues to hit. He is really forcing the hand of Mike Matheny and the Cardinals right now because Hayward is not hitting. And Grichuk, every time he plays, he contributes.
He's got a good arm. He has good speed and hammers that one. And look at a breaking ball down the middle. Grichuk just able to keep it fair down that left field line. Grichuk pinch hit last night and grounded into a double play.
He has 19 hits this year as a Cardinal. 12 of them are for extra bases. So a runner at second. Here is Yadier Molina swinging away at the first pitch.
And Mike Matheny says he's got more power than anybody on the roster as far as how far he can hit them. Just a matter of when he's going to be able to get consistent playing time.
Well, a wise old analyst once said, the bat plays. And if Grichuk keeps hitting, he's going to keep getting opportunities. Runner at second, Molina at the plate. And Cravey misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, as difficult as it is to pitch in the big leagues with major league hitters, this has to feel very unusual for Cravey in the ballpark setting here, as Molina, a little flare into left field. The Gold Glover Parra will run it down for the out. It's got to feel like he's playing in Yellowstone Park out here compared to where he's been.
Although that second pitch that he threw that was called a ball, he's thinking that's a strike in AAA.
That's true. That's true.
Country Joe West behind home plate tonight. Make no mistake who's in charge of this game.
See you go. What do we got? You're going to tamp down
ground keeping.
Little spot.
Helping Lucroy out.
Got to use the tools that are available for you. Here's Mark Reynolds. 2 outs in the inning. And Reynolds right off the end of the bat. Gomez can't get there. Rounding third, coming home is Grichuk, and he will score. Reynolds on his way to second. He's out. The inning is over, but the run scores. 2-out RBI single by Mark Reynolds, and it is the Cardinals who strike first tonight, their first run of the series. Yes, superhero night, and they're making it a Brewers version of the superheroes. Inning ended last inning at second base. It's in our Columbia St. Mary's. Worth another look.
Yeah, not sure where Adam Lind was. He's supposed to be in a cutoff spot around the pitcher's mound, but a good throw by Gomez and another good throw by Jonathan Lucroy, able to end the inning. But Mark Reynolds coming up with a big 2-out base hit.
And the Cardinals score for the first time in this series. Gene Segura leads off, takes strike 1. Lance Lynn is on his game early, 6 up, 6 down. Segura comes in batting .281.
Adam Lind, normally first baseman on a play like that has got to be around the mound. He was heading over there, but getting there late. Lucroy able to make a good throw from behind home plate and get the out anyway.
No balls, 2 strikes on Segura. And he punches one through for a base hit. Keeps a hitting streak alive. 6 consecutive games for Segura. Returned to the active roster last Friday, out with that fractured pinky finger on his right hand, and he has come back red hot here since returning to the lineup.
And one of the few times you're going to see him pull the baseball. Most of his hits have come up the middle and the right field.
His second hit of the series, that'll set up Luis Sardinas, another Venezuelan shortstop. Brewers are playing Sardinas at second base recently after the return of Segura. I asked Luis if he knew Hernan Perez. He said, no, I know him, haven't been around him much. We're on opposing teams, rival teams in the Venezuelan Winter League. And Perez has actually bounced around a little bit in the Caribbean League in Venezuela. So Sardinas was not too familiar with him. He's a couple of years older than Sardinas. Perez 24, Sardinas is 22.
The guy with the Brewers with the most knowledge about Perez is Darnell Coles. I saw him as a member of the Tigers in spring training and up in the big leagues a little bit.
Oh, and 2 the count on Sardinas, and he hits one into left field. Holiday is there for the out. 1 away. Well, I would imagine, as we talked about in our pregame show, the move for Hernan Perez is going to be something the Brewers will look at here in Milwaukee with the personnel council. I mean, he's got to stay in the big leagues or you're going to lose him. They've already proved that. The Tigers tried to pass him through waivers. That didn't work. So he's got to stay here in the big leagues. So you get a little younger and a little more upside. But I think philosophically, Rocket starts to set the tone for what we may be looking at for the rest of the summer here. As Cravey gets a bunt down in his first big league at bat.
Setting himself up for the future, and certainly Perez is a guy that you can maybe think about for the future. And you know, when you're 16 games under 500, those are the kind of decisions that you have to make. Hey, see Rock Band OAR perform all their biggest hits, including This Town, Crazy Game of Poker, and more in a free game post-game concert presented by Pick and Save. That's Saturday, June 13th, after the Brewers take on the Nationals. For tickets, visit brewers.com/concerts.
2-men are out here in the Brewer third inning. Runner at second now, and the speedy Segura back to the top of the order for Gomez, who drove in the only run on a 2-out hit yesterday. Council has been using Segura in the leadoff spot the last couple of days. Gomez returns there tonight. Segura was on last night in the first inning. At the time, you never thought that would be it. That would be the lone run. First 1-0 win of the year for Milwaukee, and the 4th shutout of the season.
Yeah, a few years ago, the Brewers came in here on a day game and beat Adam Wainwright 1-0. That was a Gallardo win. Remember, Corey Hart hit a second inning right field home run off of Wainwright, and that was it.
Yeah, Gallardo took a no-hitter deep into that game, into the 8th inning. Two balls and a strike on Carlos. A strikeout victim in the first. Ryan Braun hoping for a chance here. If he bats, the Brewers will have a little 2-out rally going. He's still in the hold right now. 2-1 pitch is swung on and missed. Gomez with a big hack, and it's 2-2.
And right down the middle of the plate. You don't see Gomez miss too many of those. A lot of fastballs from Lance Lynn. Last couple of starts, about 90% fastballs, if you can believe it. Still very effective with it. Slings it in there at about 92 miles an hour.
Now, from 2011 to 2014, Lance Lynn got the most run support in the National League, third most in the major leagues. Cardinals averaged 6.7 runs per game during that stretch. That 4-year stretch has not been the case this year. Tough to win at the clip that Lance Lynn has been winning, especially in his last 3 years, without big run support. When he came up, they used him out of the bullpen in 11, and he was a flamethrower. He was bringing it at 98 miles an hour. Taking a few off of that as a starter.
Yeah, you got to change your approach somewhat. I mean, he doesn't really have a whole lot of off-speed pitches to go to. He's still throwing predominantly fastballs and cutters. But if he wants to go 6-7 innings, you can't be throwing in the upper 90s. Concern yourself with more about location.
Gomez has seen a lot of pitches in his first 2 at-bats. This will be the 16th pitch that he has seen. Can't quite square him up, but he's right on him.
He's had some good pitches to hit. Getting a lot of the plate, but just found him off just underneath a little bit.
Gomez had an 8-pitch at-bat in the first, ended in a strikeout. He'll see at least 9 here in his second trip to the plate. Brewers trying to tie it up. Got a runner at second with 2 away. Anything that touches the outfield grass, Segura will score. Gomez dribbles one foul. These are the at-bats that, however they end up, if it ends up as a base hit or Gomez reaches, certainly better for the Brewers. But either way, Lynn having a hard time shaking Gomez, and it can make it a short start.
Yeah, pitch count climbing on him. Not a guy that walks many. That's why he just continues to throw strikes.
Wow. Fouls off the 10th pitch. So think about this. Lance Lynn has thrown 44 pitches, and Gomez has seen 18 of them.
Yeah.
And gonna see 19.
And all fastballs. Every one.
Another 3-2 pitch coming, and he got him. Struck him out again. Another long battle for Gomez ends in a K. Brewers strand a runner at second base. Watomy's scoreboard. We go to the bottom of the third. A reminder that Thursday, June 18th, an American tradition comes to Fox and Fox Sports 1 for the first time. Our exclusive coverage of the 115th U.S. Open Championship live from Chambers Bay Golf Course beginning June 18th, Fox Sports 1, and on Fox, streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Great crop of talented young players now in the pro golf ranks. Jordan Spieth and Rory McIlroy.
Tiger always makes that list, doesn't he?
Seems to be one of those guys. We'll see if he can.
Ricky Fowler, the other one.
Turn it around, yeah.
Right?
Ricky Fowler won the Players recently. Big win for him. The 5th major, as they call it. John Jay starts this 3rd inning for Tyler Cravey. Bottom of their order, Jay, the pitcher, Lynn, and then to the top of the order, Colton Wong. Oh-2 pitch. Busted him inside. Cravey seems to have good poise, good command. He's thrown some good change-ups. Has 2 strikeouts. His first major league strikeout was to Matt Carpenter. Ooh, didn't miss by much.
He thought it was. Not here. Not in the big leagues. Got to get the white of the plate here.
And there's another good changeup. Backhanded by Sardinas. Flips one over to first for the out. Jay is retired. It's been a good pitch for him early, and that alone lets you know that he's in control of what he's trying to do here today.
Good opportunity for Cravey to show what he can do, and you got to control your emotions. That's the main thing. I mean, if he didn't have good enough stuff, he wouldn't be here. He's pitched well to get here, and just got to stay within yourself. Forget about who's up at the plate. Forget about where you're at. That 3rd deck in the big leagues gets to a lot of guys, not just pitchers, but position players.
And pitchers who use a changeup like Cravey does, that's usually where it shows up. And if you remember back to Sunday, Tyler Wagner made his major league debut, and he really wrestled with that changeup. He couldn't quite find it. Wagner was a victim of the extra inning game. By all accounts, he was going to remain as Lynn with a base hit. The Cardinal pitcher singles.
Not an easy out. I mean, you know, $158 coming in, and Cravey, you just can't throw him down the middle, expect to get outs. I mean, that's a mistake, and Lance Lynn able to get it by Ramirez, who was playing even with the bag. And now the top of the order coming up. And we'll see what adjustments these Cardinals hitters make after seeing Cravey for the first time.
A little half swing by Wong. He cuts and misses. First time through the batting order. The Cardinals go 3 for 9. 2 strikeouts and a run allowed for Cravey. Wong hitting .312 coming in. He's been a good hitter for St. Louis. They made the move in late April to get Wong to the top of the batting order. Mike Matheny likes not just his speed and his left-handed bat, but he also likes that power threat at the top. Wong can hit him a long way. He's not a big guy at all. He's got some thunder in that bat. He's hit 6 homers already this year.
He hits lefties pretty well too. So he's a guy at the top of the order. Even when a left-hander is going to make a start, he can keep him in there. Hitting over 300 against left-handers.
Broken bat. Got to hurry it up. Segura steps on the back throw to first in time. And Cravey gets a double play ball out of Colton Wong. 3 innings in the books for Cravey. Cardinals lead 1-0. Baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine. By Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. And by Hupy and Abraham. 800-800-5678. Hupy and Abraham. Tell them you mean business. Game 2 in St. Louis. Wrap up the series tomorrow afternoon. A day game tomorrow. Hope you'll make plans to be with us. Got the second Major League debut in the last 3 days for the Brew Crew. Tyler Wagner Sunday. Tyler Cravey here tonight.
And David Goforth made his Major League debut. That was, last Tuesday?
Yeah, so 3 Major League debuts in the last week. David Goforth is still here, pitching out of the Brewers bullpen. Parra leads off, batting second. He grounded to short his first time up. Got an injury update on Chris Davis. He had successful right knee surgery today. Expected to be out 4 to 6 weeks. The debridement surgery means they went in orthoscopically, and it's not as significant. That ball's got a chance. It is way back. Nope, I beg your pardon. Off the end of the bat.
Yep, off the end. It looked good, but didn't sound like he got it.
Parra flies out.
Just missed it.
Just missed it. My bad. Ryan Braun steps in. Speaking of home runs, actual home runs that went over the fence. Powerball home run leaderboard. Ryan Braun leads with 12. Leads the club. He's in the top 10 in the league in that category. Adam Lind with 8. Hit number 8 in Milwaukee on Sunday. So anyway, Chris Davis out 4 to 6 weeks. And a pretty routine surgery by all accounts. The meniscus tear. In the meantime, Gerardo Parra will
grind over that last at bat. He had a good pitch to hit, and can't believe he couldn't wait back. Really had a good one, just missed it.
Braun grounded to short his first time up, and he hits one right at Mark Reynolds. 2 outs. Braun is hitless in this series. So 2 away. That'll bring up Adam Lind. He's just been a tick late on the Lance Lynn fastball.
Yeah, squared up on one back in Milwaukee against Lynn. That 3-run home run. I said it was the second inning in that game. It was the third inning. Third inning, 3-run home run. And a Brewers victory back at home.
Adam Lind has 1,000 career games in the major leagues. He hit that threshold on Saturday against the Diamondbacks. He should get to 1,000 hits in his career this season, barring injury. Opens play today 24 hits shy of 1,000 in his career. Brewers got Lind in an offseason deal with the Blue Jays, trading Marco Estrada to Toronto. And then Lind got off to a great start. He was the Brewers Player of the Month in April. Hit .333 in the first month of the season. One of the few bright spots. Little tapper Lynn is up and will underhand it to first for the out. 3 up and 3 down go the Brew Crew in the 4th.
Have a 1-0 lead over the Brewers here in the bottom of the 4th inning. We check out our carsoup.com trivia question asking you, Craig Counsell and Mike Matheny are both 44 years old. Who are the 2 current MLB managers younger than them? And Counsell talking about his relationship with Mike Matheny. They played against each other for a few seasons. Counsell is a Diamondback. Matheny, during his time with the Giants, said he just always had a lot of respect for him as a catcher. Said he was the most difficult catcher at the plate because in terms of thinking along with him, trying to predict what he'd be calling behind the plate, what kind of pitch he should expect at the plate. So he said he always had a lot of respect against him. And now as a manager, he said he's always been one that he's watched a little bit more closely because of that transition so soon after his playing career, going to the dugout as a manager. So always respects Matheny and continues that way as a manager as well.
And I think it's vice versa. And, it's not just the players, BA, that are coming up early these days. I mean, young, it's managers, right? I mean, both 44 years old. It wasn't that long ago. You'd never seen a guy 44 be a manager in the big leagues. And they're not even the youngest guys. Amazing.
2 are young. That's a good question, Sophia.
Yeah, it is.
The trivia tonight. Think on that a little bit. Well, Craig Counsell had a chance at the Tampa Bay Rays job this offseason. He interviewed for that job. According to those in the know, it went very well, but Counsell pulled his name out of the hat. Wanted to continue to pursue front office opportunities with the Brewers. He was already a special assistant to Doug Melvin. Turned out to be a great choice for him because here he is managing his boyhood team, his hometown team. Carpenter leading off, sends one in the air, foul. See if it'll stay playable. 3 converge on it, and all 3 come together.
Look out.
And the ball bounces up into the seats.
Yeah, 2 Brewers end up in the stands.
Segura is the one they're trying to extract from the crowd right now. Boy, Segura just went plowing into the seats.
Yeah, that wall down there is about knee high. And very easy for somebody to crash in there and go into the seats, but everybody's all right.
It's good effort. These Cardinal fans applauding the effort of the Brewers. Watch Segura in the middle.
Never takes his eye off the baseball, crashes into Parra and then flips over the wall. And fans doing a decent job making sure that both Ramirez and Segura don't hurt themselves.
And the big guy in the red right here catching Ramirez. That's the play of the day.
Yeah.
From an opposing fan. That's
big
time. Yeah, that's good stuff right there. You got to get that guy a ball or something. Here's a 2-2, and Carpenter takes a ball down and in. Carpenter will start it, then Holiday, then Peralta. Cardinals up 1-0. And Carpenter draws the walk. The catch of the day. Cardinal fan. He could have let him go, but he said, you know what? I'll catch you, fella.
It's your last year. I'm not going to let you get hurt.
Even though you have all those RBIs against my team, I'm going to make the play. Good job.
Checking to see if he made the air over in St. Louis.
Well, he made the air in Milwaukee, sir. He's got his glove, too.
How can he not make the air, right? It was part of the play.
Holiday fouls the first one away. Holiday on the ground, right to Sardinas. 4-6-3 double play.
Only two of them back-to-back innings. And that's what Rick Sweet was talking about when he said Cravey is pounding the lower portion of the strike zone. Look at that. Good breaking pitch, and Holiday just waves at it. And that's about as easy a double play as you're going to get. A 4-6-3. Easy.
Peralta swinging away at the first pitch. Johnny Peralta, a strikeout victim in the second, been a very productive hitter this year, especially as a shortstop. 8 home runs, 30 runs batted in. He's got his average up over 300. Peralta with an on-base percentage of .376 this season and a slugging percentage over 500. Got an OPS near 900 coming in. Not as productive of a hitter from that position as there is in the major leagues.
You don't expect to see that kind of power out of your shortstop, but you know, it was back in the old days, like Cal Ripken days and Robin Yount, where you had shortstops that can hit the ball out of the ballpark. Miguel Tejada, back in those days where you had big hitting shortstops.
Yeah, there was that era. Remember the Nomar Garcia Parra, Derek Jeter, Alex Rodriguez era. On the ground, sounded like he broke his bat. Aramis Ramirez will make the play, and Cravey is pitching well. He's given up just one. Brewers have been one hit through the first 4 innings. Good catch, sir.
in attendance at Miller Park on Sunday, June 14th, when the Brewers take on the Washington Nationals. We'll get a bobblehead of Brewers center fielder Carlos Gomez in his 2014 All-Star jersey. That's courtesy of Pepsi. For tickets, visit Brewers.com today.
He's got a bit of a superhero look to him, doesn't he? Superhero night here at Busch. There's Batman. He's got the hat backwards. He's very trendy Batman going on. Jonathan Lucroy will lead the way for Milwaukee. Brewers down 1-0, trying to string some hits together. They have just one hit. That was Gene Segura to lead off the third. Segura was bunted to second, but then left stranded there. Lucroy appearing in just his 14th game of the season. Missed 38 games with that fractured toe on his left foot.
Yeah, it's kind of a surprise to go off to such a slow start because he was swinging the bat so well in spring training. About the latest you're ever going to hear us talk about spring training, but when you're on the DL about 6 weeks and we're off to a slow start, still trying to figure it out up there at the plate. Luke's been grounded out a lot.
Spent 4 days down in the Brewers minor league system on a minor league rehab. He was at Single A Brevard County in the Florida State League. Said he saw everything he wanted to see. Breaking balls, fastballs, good velocity. And there he is. That's the Lucroy you know and remember. A base hit to right.
Yep, he uses right field about as well as anybody. And there's a pump of the fist. Got the first one out of the way since coming off the DL. Fastball up, away. Actually had the middle of the plate. Lucroy, he's such a good hitter. He doesn't try and pull it. Gets on top of it and lines it into right field.
First hit since his return. And now Ramirez. Brewers have their lead man on. And Ramirez on the first pitch pops it up. One away. And that'll bring up Gene Segura now, who has the other Brewers hit. Cardinals got their run in the second. A 2-out RBI single by Mark Reynolds. Segura during this 6-game hitting streak has 10 hits, 10 for 25.
And not many of them to left field like he did his last time up. Pulled it into the hole and into left field. A lot of base hits to center and to right. They're starting to put that approach together. They got Braun, they got Segura, Lucroy now, who all three go to right field very well. It's so much more difficult to pitch to a hitter when you know they're going to be able to take the ball to the opposite field. Sometimes you're almost forced to try and pitch them in, and when you have guys like Ryan Braun and Lucroy, guys can hit the ball out of the ballpark. That's what you want. But you got to be able to cover that outside corner first.
Close play over at first. Every now and then Lucroy will try the sneak attack stolen base attempt. Ball and a strike, one man out. And another check on Lucroy, another close one.
I'm not sure he wants to test the arm of Yadier Molina, though.
Yeah, it might not be the time to sneak attack. He has not attempted a stolen base this year.
Molina didn't look too worried about it either.
7-time Gold Glove Award winner.
Fighting off a yawn.
Segura. Long has it. Out at second. And the relay is late. Second out of the inning. Segura replaces Lucroy at first. A reminder, you can enter now for a chance to win a trip to the MLB All-Star Game on Fox for you and 3 of your friends. Upload 2 photos at foxsports.com/fantasticallstar right now through June 3rd. So you got until tomorrow. All-Star Game in Cincinnati this year. Here is Luis Sardinas. Segura certainly a threat to run in a spot like this. Got the pitcher due up next. Even if he's thrown out, you don't mind Sardinas leading off. Segura's only been caught once this year. He is 6 out of 7. Lynn with 2 outs here in the 5th. He's only given up 2 hits thus far, both singles. Lance Lynn had great numbers against Milwaukee prior to his last start. In his last start in late April, he gave up 10 hits and 6 runs. Brewers won that game. They beat Lynn 6-3. Prior to that, he was 4-0 with a 1.49 earned run average against Milwaukee. He had dominated the Brewers until his last start against them. Lynn got a win his last time out, or rather a no decision in a win his last time out against Arizona. 6 innings, gave up 2 runs. And they got him. Segura gets picked off. He took a bounce towards second, and Lynn cut him down to end the inning.
presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Still a 1-0 game here at Busch Stadium. And on Monday, June 29th, Davey Nelson will again host his celebrity golf tournament in support of Brewers Community Foundation and the Open Arms Home for Children, an organization located in South Africa which serves as an orphanage for children struggling to survive. It provides shelter, clothing, and basic health care for children, assuring them a better chance at life and the future. You can join Davey and friends at Whistling Straits for a fantastic day of golf and fundraising. You can register for the event at brewers.com/Davey.
All right, Sophia, thanks. Great work to our colleague Davey Nelson. Here we go to the Cardinal 5th inning. Grichuk pops one up into the seats on the first offering from Tyler Cravey, making his major league debut tonight, and he is pitching very well against the Redbirds. He's only given up 3 hits. One of those hits was a little into the bat flare into center for Mark Reynolds. That was a 2-out RBI single.
That golf outing on the 29th of June? We're in Philly.
Yes, weren't invited this year. We'll be on the road.
I looked.
Good fly back.
I'll be wolfing down a cheesesteak during that.
One of the 10. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that one misses low. The bigger question will be, can you keep the cheesesteak off your shirt?
Yeah, I've had trouble with that.
Grichuk into left field. Another hit for him. His second. A leadoff single this time to go along with his double. He's 2 for 2, has half of the Cardinal hits.
And both of them coming into left field. There's Jason Hayward looking on. Having more of a difficult time at the plate this year. A free agent at the end of the season. I don't think he's too worried. But Grichuk's success might very well influence what the Cardinals like to do with Jason Hayward.
Yadier Molina. Cravey has induced 2 double plays tonight, each of the last 2 innings. I've seen double plays. And he hits the edge for a strike. He has now thrown a first pitch strike to 13 of the first 15 hitters he has faced in the big leagues. That is impressive.
Yeah, doesn't seem to be too timid throwing strikes. You love to see that.
Oh, and 2 the count on Molina.
Made a mistake there, got away with it. So, you know, when you make pitches like that and you see good big league hitters miss them, it gives you confidence out there on the mound when you're a young pitcher. You don't feel like you have to make a perfect pitch all the time. You want to be careful 0-2, especially to this guy. He doesn't very rarely strike out.
No balls, 2 strikes. Got a runner at first to start the inning. Molina takes one down. Cravey's last start in AAA was his best start in Las Vegas, another hitter-friendly ballpark. He went 8 innings, gave up just 1 run. It took him just 97 pitches to get through those 8 innings. Got him up the ladder with a fastball, and Molina strikes out. 3rd strikeout for Cravey.
Nice job by Lucroy, setting up both times inside. Missed down the first time on the 0-2 pitch. And Lucroy wants it up there again. And this time Cravey gives it to him. Good job by Lucroy and Cravey. He wants it upstairs, and he got it middle in. And Molina can't catch up to it.
And the acknowledgement by Lucroy right after he caught that pitch. And a herky-jerky delivery. Can't be easy to pick up for a hitter as he hits the edge again.
Learning process for both Lucroy and Cravey, getting to know each other. Doing a good job keeping the ball on the ground. 6 ground ball outs, only 3 fly ball outs.
Broken bat. Chance to turn it here. Ramirez, Sardinez to Lind, and the third double play of the night for Tyler Cravey. Oh, he's pitching well in his big league debut. Do the Brewers have some offense in him? Reynolds bounces into an around the horn double play, the third in as many innings.
Well, Tyler Cravey pitching a gem so far. 1-0 Cardinals as we head to the 6th inning. And for the second consecutive year, Miller Park hosts an international soccer match on Tuesday, July 14th, as English Premier League club Newcastle United squares off against Club Atlas of the Liga MX. For tickets and details, visit brewers.com/soccer. Much better tonight.
Looking forward to that. Yeah, you really sold it well tonight. Ticket sales are going to skyrocket after that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fired up. I know Dan Larea, the Brewers director of team travel, is going to be there.
Yes.
Big soccer fan.
Big news in the soccer world today as the FIFA president stepped down.
Yeah, big news.
Luis Sardinez, he's a big soccer fan out of Venezuela. And he swings and hits one hard, but it's gloved by Wong. Out number 1. Ground balls are coming from both pitchers. One away for Lance Lynn, and Tyler Cravey will bat. Yucking it up with Joe West. How you doing, son? Have you heard my country music CD? I'll leave you a copy in your locker.
And by the way, thanks for throwing all those strikes tonight.
He's a nice man, Joe West.
He's not bad. Kind of misunderstood, isn't he?
I can't speak for his activity and actions on the field, but every time you talk to him away from the field, he's very pleasurable.
Yeah, run into him off the field from time to time, particularly in Philly.
Is this another cheesesteak reference?
No, one of those umpiring watering holes that I've stumbled into from time to time.
Those are hard to find, the umpiring watering holes. Very stealthy.
They do hide out.
A fly ball. Richard gave it a chase. It ends up in the seats.
This place is no longer open in Philly. Old Town Philly. The Artful Dodger. Closed.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Bummer.
The Artful Dodger. I remember that. 0-2 the count. Cravey into right. Grichuk guarding the line makes the play. Man, he hit that hard.
A nice night. Dropped down a sacrifice bunt. Had a line drive bullet to right, and he's pitching well. Gets on top of it. All hands, but able to hit it pretty hard to Grichuk in right field.
2 up, 2 down. Top of the order. Here is Carlos Gomez. Brewers are down 1-0 in the 6th. Gomez has seen a lot of pitches, but he has struck out twice. Had an 8-pitch at-bat in the first, an 11-pitch at-bat in the third. Shows bunt, pops up the bunt, it's on the ground, and that's going to go for a base hit. That ball had a ton of spin on it. And once Lynn couldn't make the catch, that was going to be a tough play. Gomez with a bunt single with 2 away.
Yeah, big guy not able to get down, get off the mound in time to be able to get it in the air. And once this ball hits the ground, you knew that Gomez had a pretty good shot at beating it out. Had some backspin on it, and that's what fooled Lance Lynn. So good speed on the bases with 2 outs. This might be a running opportunity for Gomez.
His 4th bunt hit of the season. Checked it up on the green.
And typically you don't want to bunt for a base hit, you know, with 2 outs and nobody on. But with Gomez's speed and you know he can steal, you can get into scoring position.
Gerardo Parra takes one low.
2 outs, nobody on. Typically you want to swing away and try and drive into the gap and hit a double. With Gomez, a single sometimes turns into a double when he steals.
Yeah, I'm just watching Lance Lynn the last couple of pitches. I don't know if something's bothering him out there, but he is taking a lot of time between pitches. And he has fallen behind 2-0.
A little hammy or something going after that bunt.
I think something got him. I don't know what or how significant, but does not appear to be himself. We'll keep an eye on him. Brewers have already had 1 base runner picked off. That was Segura to end the 5th inning. There has only been 1 base runner left on in this game for both teams. The Brewers have that one. 3 balls, no strikes. Let's see if we can pick something up here on that bunt by Gomez. Lynn coming off the mound, and
yeah, right there. Maybe I don't know. Something might have grabbed him. Took him a while to stop, and he's had a tough time since. Hasn't been able to throw a strike.
And he walks Parra on 4 consecutive pitches. So a bunt single, a walk, and now 2 on with 2 out. And here comes Ryan Braun. Braun looking for his first hit of the series. Be a good time for it. Great speed at second and Gomez. Parra runs well at first. The Brewers trail 1-0 here in the 6th. And Lynn hits the corner for a strike. Fastball at 92 miles an hour. Braun with 38 RBIs. He is the club leader. 34 of those came in the month of May. Had a great stretch really since April 28th. Braun has been one of the most productive hitters in the National League. Strike 2.
Yeah, both times catching the outside corner. Braun didn't like that call.
Braun not pleased, and he's barking a little at Joe West.
Molina's setting up on the outside corner. And it looks like Braun had a bit of a beef right there. The first one was a strike, not the second.
Well, you got to figure Lynn's got to go back out there again. 0-2 the count. 2 on, 2 out. And Braun shoots it foul. Lynn did go back out there.
Well, he's not going to leave it up to Joe West, that's for sure. After that swing, Braun turned around and asked Joe if it was a strike, and he said yes.
And hearing it all is Yadier Molina. Another 0-2, and down goes Braun. A strikeout with 2 on. Brewers come up empty. It's still 1-0 Cardinals. Of the game, and it is Tyler Cravey in that spotlight here tonight. He's been great tonight. He's given up just the 1 run. Rocky has induced double play balls in the last 3 innings.
And you know, just on cue, I mean, he's been able to keep the baseball down, keeping his Cardinal offense off balance. Only 4 hits allowed, a couple of strikeouts, and has only walked 1. A leadoff walk in the 4th inning to Carpenter, but he was erased on a holiday double play ball.
Those are the numbers for Cravey in his major league debut. And his first pitch is a strike. He's done that all night. Get ahead with first pitch strikes. John Jay to lead off. Lynn's spot is due next. Be curious to see if he comes back out. Cardinals never went to the mound to check on him. Lynn has not gone into the on-deck circle just yet. Here he comes. He pops out of the dugout right now. Brewers had a golden opportunity last inning with 2 outs, and their best hitter coming up in Ryan Braun. He strikes out.
And Lynn just kept pounding the outer half of the plate. Actually, a little bit off the plate. Joe West called one, and I think it flustered Braun a little bit. Ended up swinging a pitch out of the strike zone down.
Another one bounces in. 2-2. Cravey's been very efficient tonight. Pitching in his 6th inning, he has just 66 pitches. 2 guys that are giving Craig Counsell some great starts when he needed them most after that 17-inning marathon. There's a called strike 3. Cravey dots the edge with a fastball, and down goes Jay.
Strikeout number 4. The first strikeout for Cravey looking. And that one right on the edge. I mean, that's been a strike all night with Joe West back there. I tell you, I like the strike zones of this umpiring crew. Rob Drake yesterday, the hitters weren't happy with him, and tonight Joe West. I'm all for a big strike zone.
Amen. I think it makes for a, believe it or not, in a roundabout way, it makes for a better offensive game. It makes hitters much more aggressive.
Get him up there swinging, right?
Lance Lynn has one of the 4 Cardinal hits. Grichuk the other 2. Mark Reynolds had an RBI single in the 2nd.
But Joe West will tell you he doesn't have a big strike zone. The strike zone is the strike zone. I just call it.
Right.
I had to say that because I know our friend Bruce Fremming's listening.
And we'll be getting a visit from Mr. Fremming, the legendary Bruce Fremming.
First day back.
1-2 the count. Lynn fouls it into the net. I love Cravey's pace too. He's got good tempo. He works quickly. Saw a lot of them this spring. He pitched well this spring and has found his way to the big leagues. He had to be a little bit concerned, maybe agitated, when the Brewers called up Tyler Wagner to make the start Sunday, leapfrogging all of the AAA pitchers coming from AA.
Might not have been available.
Yeah, he had just pitched.
Yeah, so he
on the 27th.
Couldn't have brought him up and had him pitch.
Well, here he is.
It has a lot to do with who gets called up in an emergency start, who's available, who's going to be on their regular rest.
One ball, 2 strikes, trying to dispose of Lynn. And he's proven to be a tough at bat. Brewers have left 3. The Cardinals have not stranded a base runner. Down he goes. A strikeout. Cravey with number 5. He has back-to-back Ks here in the 6th inning.
Yeah, it took Lynn a little bit more seriously that time. Hey, tonight's timer of the game winner. VFW post 57-29 in Medford if they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours. They get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a Brewers home game this year. This all for courtesy, as always, of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Colton Wong, he swings, rolls over one. Lind is there, and Cravey with a 3-up, 3-down inning with a couple of Ks. He is going along very well. Brewers are coming up in the 7th. Through 6, he's only given up 1 run. Brewers are trailing 1-0. Speaking of players in the minor leagues, our Blaine's Farm and Fleet minor league report. Orlando Arcia. Wow, he is really swinging it. He seems like he's in this group every week.
Yeah.
Southern League hitter of the week at .455 last week. Leads the league in doubles. He's second in average. He's hitting .335, and he's up there in runs. And
that much better hitter on the road than at home.
Right. All of his games have been on the road this year.
That road trip's never going to end.
In Biloxi. Adam Lind will lead off for Milwaukee. Lance Lynn back on the mound. He has allowed just 3 hits. He's working on a shutout. Just gave up his first walk last inning to Gerardo Parra. Came on 4 pitches. And Lind into the opposite field, slicing. It is down. A base hit. A lead single for Adam Lind.
Third time the Brewers have had their leadoff hitter on, and they've been all base hits. Just able to get the bat on it on a pitch going away from him, and dumps it in front of John Jay in center.
Lucroy at the plate tonight, courtesy of Wendy's. And a base hit his last time up. Line drive, single to right. Lucroy still looking for his first home run of the season. Has just 1 RBI. Season that was interrupted 6 weeks with that injury. Second game back. Last year, Lucroy led the majors in doubles, becoming the first catcher in Major League Baseball history to lead his league in doubles. Stats going back to 1900. And catching is the primary position.
Well, you can see Lucroy just trying to struggle a little bit with the pace, you know, his stroke a little bit, pitch selection. Knew he swung at one off the plate. That two-seam fastball going in on his hands, and Lucroy a little bit too anxious. Can't blame him. Trying to get back into that groove that he was in last year.
He's got the count in his favor, and Lucroy fouls it back. Lucroy hit 53 doubles last year. 46 of those doubles were when he was in the game as the catcher, which was a major league record. He broke Ivan Rodriguez's record, Pudge Rodriguez of the Rangers, and broke the National League record of Yadier Molina. Molina had 44, Pudge had 45. Lucroy with 46 last year. Great year all the way around. He was a first-time All-Star.
Yeah.
Ended up starting in the All-Star game when Molina was injured.
And they really missed him, you know, while he was out for 6 weeks. And probably going to take him a while to get back into that groove offensively. Looks good behind the plate.
And a 2-2 count. Adam Lind at first. Lucroy slices one foul. A Florida native, Lucroy, calls Louisiana home now. And a swing and a miss. He got him.
A little anxious. Swinging at a couple of pitches out of the strike zone. Just trying to do a little bit too much. Had a couple of pitches to hit, but fouled him off. At the same pitch, Lind struck Brian Braun out last inning.
4 Ks for Lance Lynn. Aramis Ramirez now with a man on. Aramis is third on the club in homers, a team that has hit 50 home runs this year. Powerball home run count. Ramirez has 6 of them. Braun's the leader with 12. Brewers would love to add to that total.
Yeah, Brewers 5th in the league in homers.
That was after a very slow start with the home run ball. Dodgers surprisingly leading the league. Dodger Stadium not playing quite as big as it normally does. There's some kind of weather situation out west that we've seen a lot of home runs in San Diego and in Los Angeles. Not sure what that's all about. I think Ramirez asked for time. West granted it, and they're looking out in center field for something right now. Maybe they've spotted a spy out there. Brewers are 0 for 6 with runners on tonight. A couple of Ks. A big one on Braun last inning with 2 on. Adam Lind at first, and Ramirez in a 2-2 count now.
There's just something about that fastball from Lance Lynn. It is just aren't able to really connect on it. Giving up 5 home runs is all this year, but I tell you, I haven't seen him really throw a curveball today. Probably no change-ups. It's been all fastballs and cutters. That's been it. And still, the league has a difficult time with him. Can't be very difficult to call a game for Lance Lynn, huh? Basically fastball cutter. He'll throw a 2-seamer once in a while. He got Lucroy and Braun on 2 pitches that looked like they were going down pretty well. All about location, though.
See what he does here. 3-2. And Ramirez fouls it back to the fastball.
92 outer half.
So his fastball's sitting about 92, 93 miles an hour. He's throwing that cut fastball.
Yeah.
What, about 89, 90?
Yeah, not a whole lot of soft stuff.
Seth Maness is loosening in the pen. Saw him warm up last night. Didn't make it in the game. This will be pitch number 100 for Lance Lynn. 1-0 is our score. Cardinals lead it. They scored their run in the second. And Ramirez into center field. Back on it is John Jay. Plenty of room. And there is out number 2. Here is Segura now. He's been on twice. He singled in the 3rd. He reached on a fielder's choice in the 5th. He was picked off first base to end the 5th inning. A slow runner at first in Lynn, and a little half swing foul. Look out in the seats. Lynn's last 2 starts, he's given up 8 runs combined, 7 earned runs. Took a loss at Kansas City and then got a no decision against Arizona. Had a terrific game against Detroit prior to that. Went 7 1/3, just 1 run. That was his last victory. There's a strike to Segura. It's 1-2.
Yeah, had some control problems last time out against the Diamondbacks. 4 walks to go along with his 6 hits. Unusual for him.
Brewers got a leadoff single from Lind. He's still at first. The 1-2. Segura strikes out. Chased one. Angry. And the inning is over. Lance Lynn, 7 shutout against the Brew Crew tonight. Still 1-0. Cardinals are up 1-0 tonight as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Sophia had a carsoup.com trivia question for us earlier tonight, asking who are the two current MLB managers younger than Counsell and Matheny, who are both 44 years of age. That would be Kevin Cash, who got the job in Tampa Bay, the job that Counsell pulled his name out of the hat, and A.J. Hinch, 41 years of age, the first place Houston Astros.
Yeah.
Been quite a story in the American League this year. Tampa Bay is in the mix as well. They're just a game back of the Yankees despite playing .500 ball. Yankees have a lead in the American League East. They are 2 games over .500. Matt Carpenter leads off the Cardinals 7th. Carpenter, Holiday, Peralta, third time through the batting order. And let's see if Cravey can keep it going here. He's hoping to stay out there long enough for his offense to score some runs, maybe give him a chance to win.
Yeah, this will be his last inning, due up second in the 8th inning, and he's got that pitch count at 78 pitches right now, doing a marvelous job controlling that tonight. But he's down to Matt Carpenter, 3-0.
And he lost him on 4 straight. Second time Carpenter has walked.
Hey, free T-shirt Fridays return to Miller Park on Friday, June 12th, as the Brewers battle the Washington Nationals, and all fans in attendance get a Brewers retro T-shirt courtesy of Hupy and Abraham. Call 414-902-4000 and visit Brewers.com to reserve your spot today.
So far tonight, Cravey's been able to get 3 double play balls out of the Cardinals. Holiday bounced into one in the 4th. And 5 consecutive balls to start the inning. Lucroy is on his way out.
And you know Matt Holiday is going to be sitting all over a fastball right here, so be careful.
Michael Blazek in the Brewer bullpen.
It's not a spot where you want to just get me over fastball down the middle of the plate. Holiday will be swinging.
In there, strike.
Oh, good slider.
That outside corner is open for business with home plate umpire Joe West tonight. Lynn has been able to exploit it. That one was right on the edge, perfectly placed. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Holiday, a wave and a miss, another one down and out.
That one with a little more break to it than the first. This one going down. That's a good pitch.
Fouled it back on the inside corner this time. Ball and 2 strikes. I think Lucroy wanted that one up a little bit. There's the consecutive on base streak going to start the year. Holiday set a National League record yesterday, has not reached tonight. One and 2. Inside corner, called strike 3, and Holiday is now barking at Joe West.
And Joe's saying, get out of here. I've heard enough. If you want to keep it up, I'll throw you out.
And out he goes. He just got tossed. Holiday kept staring him down. Joe West told him to turn around and walk.
Yep, he did. He warned him.
And Matheny's about to go with him here.
He just kept chirping at Joe West after West. He gave him a little leeway, told him to stop, and then he kept going. And Joe West throws him out, and there goes Matheny. He knew that was going to happen.
So Holiday ejected Matheny right behind him. And that both are getting their money's work. Kerwin Danley is a big body he's a great guy to have on an umpiring crew. He can really.
And Matt Holiday stretching a little bit now. He's bumping with Kerwin Danley. He's got to go sit down.
Tell you what, the longer this goes on, you start getting into the clock for a suspension. You can't just stay out there and wolf at an umpire when he's ejected you. Mostly for a player here. Matheny's getting his money's worth as well.
He's warned him a couple of times to get off the field, and Matt Holliday's still upset. Matt Holliday has never taken a pitch that was called a strike that he thought was actually a strike. Let's keep that in mind.
Jose Oquendo finally comes down to get his manager and his left fielder into the dugout.
Coming inside, catches the inside corner. I'm not sure what Fox Tracks has on it, but it looked like it might have been off the plate. I think Matt Holliday had a beef right there.
Lucroy is the best in the business at making borderline pitches look like strikes. Peralta swings at the first pitch right up the pipe. Sardinhas will make the catch for the out. 2 outs in this 7th inning.
The one thing that Joe West has established tonight is that you got to go up there and swing. If it's going to be close, you better swing at him with 2 strikes. Because he has proven that he's going to be ringing guys up, and he doesn't care if it's a little bit off the plate.
It's a huge moment in this game. Not only does Cravey get the out, get the strikeout, and a big batter retired, but he's ejected. The manager's gone. Cardinals are going to be forced to go to their bench. And Matt Holliday's consecutive on-base streak will end as Grichuk fouls one away.
You got to understand, as a hitter, if the umpire is going to be calling pitches a little bit off the plate, you have to be up there hacking. I mean, you got to make the adjustment. The umpire's not going to adjust.
Inning started with a walk on 4 pitches to Carpenter. Strikeout and a pop-up, and Cravey is an out away from getting through 7 against St. Louis. He's only allowed 4 hits. He has pitched beautifully tonight. Grichuk, a hot one. Oh, gloved by Ramirez. Nice play. Inning over. So Tyler Cravey, 7 strong in his major league debut. Brewers still down 1-0. Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. And by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. Well, Tyler Cravey getting a lot of accolades and attaboys in that dugout. What a performance tonight in his big league debut. 7 innings, 1 run. He strikes out 5. He walked just 1 batter. Matt Holliday ejected. Here are the changes for St. Louis. Borges will take over in center. That moves John Jay to left.
Now you got to get him off the hook. He's pitched too well to be getting hung a loss on. Got to get him some runs.
His spot due up second in this inning. Brewers have already sent Jason Rogers to the on-deck circle. Sardinhas will lead off. 0 for 2 tonight, Sardinhas, and Lance Lynn carries on here in the 8th. Lynn has 5 Ks. Brewers had 2 on with 2 outs in the 6th inning. Brian Braun struck out to end the inning and then had a lead-off single last inning. Left him there. Lynn with 2 strikeouts. 3 of his last 4 outs have been Ks.
Still just pouring those strikes in with a fastball. It's been amazing to watch him tonight. It's got to be 90% fastballs for him tonight. And the Brewers still have not been able to put a run on the board. Normally a pretty good fastball hitting club. They hit him pretty well at Miller Park.
Another 1-2 pitch. Sardinha spoils another one.
If it's close, swing at it with 2 strikes.
Yeah, that used to be the standard. Segrist is the left-hander. Manus back up the right-hander. Get a man on. Might see the bullpen here. In the hole over is Reynolds. Lynn is there for him, and Sardinhas is retired on a 3-1 putout. 1 out in the 8th. Shining moment tonight belongs to Tyler Cravey, courtesy of the Marshfield Clinic. Can't say enough about this effort this evening.
Yeah, 4 hits. He had 3 double play balls. We were told that he is very good at keeping the ball down in the strike zone, inducing the ground ball outs, and he certainly has been able to do that. He's kept this very good Cardinals offense down tonight, limiting him to only 1 run. There's only been 2 runs scored in this entire series in 2 games. How about Brewers need to get something going, get him off the hook.
They've got 5 outs to work with. Those are the numbers for his major league debut. Figure he's done enough to earn another start. I don't know what the Brewers' plans are, but they've got to love what they saw tonight from Tyler Cravey. Pitching here in the big leagues tonight like he was in his last 3 starts in the minor leagues.
And being in the big leagues did not faze him in the slightest. It didn't appear to anyway.
Jason Rogers pinch hitting for Cravey. The ejection of Matt Holliday doesn't really affect the Cardinals as long as they have the lead. Typically Matheny will take him out for defensive purposes anyway when they have a lead. Now if the Brewers can tie it or take the lead, then that's when that ejection is going to come up big.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they take him out in a 1-0 game, but you're right. A lot of times they will pull him out at this point in the ball game.
David Bell running the team now after Matheny's ejection. Ground ball up the middle, right over the bag. Wong can't get it out of his glove, and Rogers will reach. So that'll be a pinch hit infield single for Jason Rogers.
I wonder if Craig Counsell is going to go to a pinch runner at some point. He might wait until Rogers gets to second base. Yep, be able to cover that outside corner. I mean, these hitters better not take pitches that are a little bit off the plate. You got to go after them, put them in play, and Rogers rewarded with a base hit.
Now it's Gomez back to the top of the order. He had a bunt single his last time up in the 6th inning. And back to that outside corner. No call this time. Only D. Gordon of the Marlins has more bunt singles than Carlos Gomez. Gomez had his 4th. Inside, look out, almost hit him.
The Cardinals in the infield playing no doubles. Matt Carpenter really hugging the line. Big hole between third and short.
Brewers need one big swing here. Need a quick strike offensively. Gomez takes it outside, a ball. 3-0 is the count. Does Gomez have the green light? He does. He sends one to right. Grichuk is there for out number 2.
Well, you hate to get jammed and fly out to the opposite field on a 3-0 count. I mean, it's one thing to get the green light. You got to make sure you get that bat head out and hit one hard into center or left.
So the acting manager, the bench coach, David Bell, is going to make a call for the bullpen here. Lance Lynn is out. He'll get a nice hand on his way. Leaves with a shutout. Still got a runner that's his responsibility. Inning. Pencil him in for 7 2/3. Has not allowed a run. There is a runner at first that is his responsibility, and is in line for the win if his bullpen can take him the rest of the way.
Yeah, the hard thrower Kevin Seagrass, the left-hander on the mound. He last pitched against the Dodgers. That was on May 31st. He threw an inning against LA, gave up a hit and a run. But he did strike out 3. Look at the strikeouts for him. 29 strikeouts in 21 2/3. But left-handers are hitting him at a 308 clip. And Gerardo Parra standing in at the plate.
That's one of those. The splits don't show it that way for the season, but maybe the career splits do. Cardinals would rather have the matchup here. Lefty on lefty. Rogers at first. Brewers down 1-0 in the 8th. And a strike. 93-mile-an-hour fastballs in there. Career splits for Parra. .234 career hitter against lefties. He's been good against them this year. Probably one batter for Seagrass. Situational left-hander despite the velocity. There are some nights they'll allow Seagrass to pitch a full inning, but this is not one of them. Not when your starter pitches deep into the game like Lynn did.
Mike Matheny not afraid to use that bullpen. Segrist, mid-90s fastball, changeup, and slider. He's probably going to go predominantly fastball slider to Gerardo Parra.
Parra's in a hole now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brewers are desperate for some offense. They've actually out-hit the Cardinals 5-4, but haven't been able to score. The 1-2. Parra takes it up high. That's his best fastball yet, 94 miles an hour. Molina sets up away. And the breaking ball misses. So now it's 3-2. And it's traveling time for Jason Rogers at first. He'll be off with the pitch. Anything down a line or through the alley, he'll have a chance to score, although the Cardinal outfielders are extremely deep. Big pitch coming. Full count, 2 outs. Rogers takes off, and Parra in the air, left field. Backing up on it is Jay. He's got it for the out. Inning over. Parra gave it a ride. Jay runs it down. Still 1-0 St. Louis. All right, Jeff, thanks. Looking forward to that. Craig Counsell looking at a lot of zeros on that scoreboard tonight. Cardinals have scored 1 run. That was on a little flare single with 2 outs by Mark Reynolds way back in the 2nd inning. The former Cardinal, Michael Blazek, back on the mound. Had a few days off. He needed it. 2 2/3 over the weekend against the Diamondbacks. And here he is returning to the mound. He'll have Molina to start him.
Yeah, the Brewers pitcher of the month for the month of April. 9 games, a 1-0 record, and an earned run average under 1. Not bad in May. 12 games in May and a 3-1 record. So Blazek's been a nice surprise out of that Brewers bullpen. You can see how badly he needed a couple of days off.
A heavy workload Tuesday, Wednesday, 31 pitches Saturday. And a couple of hooks to Yadier Molina. This one finds the strike zone. 1-1 the count. Molina is 0 for 2 tonight. Cravey was fantastic. Can't say enough about the job this kid did. And Not a fluky thing either. I mean, this is a very good hitting team, the Cardinals. Cravey was in command. He had his changeup going early in this game when you thought maybe nerves would take over. Had a lot of confidence with that pitch. He got 3 double play balls tonight, 6 strikeouts.
Outstanding work. He knew the changeup was going to be a big pitch, and he knew he was going to be relaxed in the first inning when he got Carpenter on that changeup. Now the onus is on Michael Blazek to get the Cardinals out without a run scoring, and the Brewers get something going in the 9th. It would be a shame to waste a good pitching performance like this.
Looking ahead to the Brewer 9th inning, Ryan Braun will lead off, then Lind, and then Lucroy. They got the pieces they want. 3-2 pitch, and Molina on the ground right to Sardinas. Oh, he is silky smooth out there at second base. AT&T U-Burst Rewind, if you're just picking us up. The only run of the game came on this Mark Reynolds broken bat single to center field that scored Grichuk, who had doubled. Lance Lynn went 7 2/3 innings of shutout baseball tonight. Tyler Cravey, big story as well. In his first game in the big leagues, the 25-year-old Californian. 6 punch outs, including that one to Holiday, which got him ejected after that argument. Mike Matheny also ejected in the 7th.
Man, really the only mistake that Cravey made was that hanging breaking ball to Mark Reynolds, and he got it down on the trademark a little bit, dumped it into center. That was in the 2nd inning, the only run of the ball game.
Reynolds has that RBI single and a double play ball tonight. 1 out of 2.
8th inning, and Reynolds is only up for the 3rd time. That's how good Cravey was.
Cardinals have only stranded 1 runner on base tonight. Ground ball backhanded by Ramirez, and the long throw right on the money. Reynolds retired. 2 outs for Blazek. Cardinals have not had more than 4 batters come up in an inning. There were 3 consecutive innings where a Cardinal reached either via a hit or a walk, and in those 3 innings there were ground ball double plays in each of them. An inning ender in the 3rd and the 5th, and a double play off the bat of Holiday in the 4th.
Yeah, hard to believe 1 stranded. I mean, through 7 innings. That's pretty amazing. Pretty good hitting club, these Cardinals.
Even Reynolds' hit that scored a run, he was thrown out at second trying to take an extra base. That's how that inning ended. There's a called strike, and Blazek blazes right through his former club. What an inning. This guy's turning into something special right in front of our eyes. Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Book your stay now. Beautiful moon on a clear night in St. Louis. It is 1-0. We go to the 9th inning. Our Miller Lite What's on Tap. Back at it tomorrow afternoon. Note the airtime. That's noon here on Fox Sports Wisconsin for the Brewers Live pregame show. Jimmy Nelson and John Lackey, a couple of big old right-handers going at it tomorrow afternoon in St. Louis, the series finale. Changes for the Cardinals. Jason Hayward in the game in right field. That moves Grichuk to left field. John Jay is out, and the new pitcher is the closer, Trevor Rosenthal.
Yeah, the hard thrower with the splitter, Rosenthal, and well, he has to deal with the Brewers 3, 4, 5 hitters, 15 out of 16. A good start to his season and a .74 earned run average for Trevor Rosenthal.
Ryan Braun on the first pitch. On the ground is Peralta. No chance here. And it is an infield hit to start the inning. The Brewers put the tying run on in the 9th.
Yeah, don't waste any time. First pitch. Why not? I mean, you don't want to have to deal with that off-speed pitch of Rosenthal's. He's got a good fastball, a cut fastball. And just not able to get up as Peralta, and Ryan Braun reaches. A leadoff base runner for Milwaukee.
Brings up Adam Lind, the power bat. Rosenthal is currently second in the league in saves. Drew Storn of the Nationals has 16. There are 4 pitchers with 15 saves in the National League currently. Rosenthal, Familia of the Mets, Santiago Casilla of the Giants, and Jason Grilling of the Braves. What a story he's been. This guy's moving into that elite territory, however. Lynn just missed it. Took a big hack and pops it straight up in the infield.
Yeah, changeup. That's a good pitch for Rosenthal. He's got a good changeup. Fastball, the cutter, and the change. Here it is. It's up in the zone, and Adam Lind just underneath.
Couldn't quite square it up.
Yeah, a little bit too high.
The first out of the inning. Brewers are looking for their first run since the first inning of yesterday's game. 16 scoreless innings on the books right now. If they don't score here, it'll be 17 straight. Here's Lucroy. 1 out of 3 tonight. Lucroy singled in the 5th inning, had a sharp single to right. Brewers have speed at first, and Braun need to get him on the move. Representing the tying run, skips in. What a play by Molina, man! I tell you, he makes it look so easy back there. If he doesn't make this play, Braun's in scoring position.
And you don't want to teach young catchers to do that, because not many can. You're taught to get down on your knees and block it, but he's so talented he can keep it in the glove. Not many can. Johnny Bench was one.
One ball, one strike. Lucroy, right field, base hit. Braun around second, and he's going to try to go. Hayward's throw is cut off. First and third for Milwaukee. Lucroy with a single to right.
And a good job of Lucroy taking that ball to the opposite field. He does that so well. His second hit, both of them coming to right field, and Trevor Rosenthal in trouble. Right down the middle of the plate, and he just slices it right over the head of Mark Reynolds. Braun had to wait just a bit to see if that ball was going to get over the head of Reynolds, and he's still able to get into third base.
Hayward has a great arm. Braun challenged him. This big outfield here, and now the tying run is 90 feet away with 1 out. Here's Ramirez. Aramis fouls it out of play. He was late gunning on that first pitch. Couldn't get the bat head out there. Those are his numbers against Rosenthal. 4 for 5 in his career. So the Brewers have a comeback in them tonight.
96 with the fastball, and he's not afraid to come inside. Drop that changeup on you. Ramirez a pretty good fastball hitter.
Big spot for Ramos. Cardinals are in double play position. And Ramirez in the air to right. Late again. Fouls it off. Count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
You can see the look on Ramirez's face. He knows he got a pitch to hit, but fouled it off.
The Brewers have not won a game this year when they have trailed after 8 innings. They are 0-32. They'd like to get the donut off the board here tonight. 1-2. Down and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 97 with the fastball from Rosenthal. Winless, trying to do something they haven't done all year. Cardinals have not lost a game when they have led after 8. They are 28-0, taking leads into the 9th.
And something that Yadier Molina spotted, or maybe a disagreement as to what they want to throw, but I would imagine that Molina is going to get his way. He does normally. And this is where Molina becomes a pitching coach.
The real pitching coach, Derek Lilliquist. And Molina's had a save. Ramirez in a 2-2 count. Brewers down 1-0. Tying run at third. Go ahead, run at first. 9th inning. 2-2. Ramirez on a chopper. Here comes Braun. They go to second for 1. Throw to first in time. Game over. The Cardinals turn a double play. And the Brewers lose 1-0.
Well, you knew the last thing you wanted to see was a ground ball off the bat of Ramirez. He tried to bust it out of the box, but just doesn't have the speed to be able to beat it. And the Cardinals get him by a step. Oh, yeah, killer.
Oh, that one hurts. Brewers had it set up with runners at the corners. So the 16th save of the year for Rosenthal makes a winner out of Lance Lynn, and a tough luck loss for Tyler Cravey in his major league debut. Time for Brewers Live. We check in with Jeff Grayson. He's in our Fox Sports Wisconsin studios. Take it away, Jeff.